What's good, y'all? It's your girl, Galaxy Queen Star, coming live at you tonight. So, my bad, y'all. You know, a girl gotta work. I do work the weekends. I don't have no ordinary, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. You know what I'm saying? So, I couldn't give y'all first dibs on, the recaps, but I did pay for the pay per view. So I did watch the battles while I was at work. I just couldn't recap them right away. So what I'm going to do is every day of this week, I'm going to recap a battle for you guys after work. Okay, I'm off Wednesday, Thursday. Today is Sunday. So every day up until I'm off, I'm going to recap every battle. All right, so tonight, I did get to watch Jerry Wess versus X Factor. These battlers, both of them is great battle rappers, and I really like both of their styles. Even though X Factor hasn't been battling for a while, but I still like his style. I remember him in a battle with him and Sir. So I was excited to see this battle. You know what I'm saying? I was very excited to see this battle. But I'm not gonna lie, y'all. To me, on a scale of 1 to 10, I give it like a 6.5, 7 maybe. You know what I'm saying? So let's go. Let's just get right into it. Um, all right, so the first round. Now not Jerry West, X Factor. He winds up going first. So I wrote, you know how I do, y'all. I gotta write something down, a few bars down for you guys. But I didn't write like the whole thing. I just kind of chopped it up a little bit. So some of the lines that I like. He was like, I'm better than these veterans. For the right amount of cheese, I promise they won't be a promo. So I thought that was fire. A next little line he said was, this a preacher convention. I'm revved up. And he going on and going in. I ain't say the whole bar. I thought that was a nice little line. I like another, this lean on me line. He says, 40 on this still, I principal Clark, so and so and so. So he kept going on that. So I was like, wow, nice little lean on me line. And then he said something like running low like Alina's cousin. So you remember that movie, dang, what's that movie? God damn, that was one of my favorite movies too. How can I forget? Menace to Society. I love them gangster gory movies. Menace to Society is one of my favorite movies. Gangster movies, by the way. So I remember Alina's cousin, the guy who got jumped by Kang, but at the end of the movie he wound up killing Kang on that drive-by shooting. Another bar, last bar from the first round, he says, if this champion get out of line, I'll put this Tech 9 to his J. Black. So I thought that was fire. All right, so now going with Jerry West, round one. He did end it kind of short, and I ain't gonna lie. At towards the end of this round, Jerry West had a long hesitation. Yes, he did. He did choke. Okay, but he played it off pretty well. But people forget that he did choke to the point that after the first line, after the second round, they were saying fight back. People in the crowd was like fight back, telling Jerry West to fight back because he did choke in that first round. But that was towards the end of the round. He got through the majority of the round, but this round was a short round. Okay, and I could tell that Jerry West did forget some of his lyrics, okay, towards the end. All right, so he did say some nice lines though. He said something like, "You came back washed like you spit in your drink. You came back washed like you spit in your drink." So that was kind of alright. Then he goes, got smoke on double impact, but it's Mal's fault, So he was talking about that battle that X Factor had with Miles, and basically X Factor was saying that wasn't his fault. He blamed the reason why they lost. He blamed it on Miles. Another thing he said that I thought was kind of fire. He was like, "If I let her in front of X, I'll W," or something like that. He said. So, but if I let her, he was talking about his girlfriend or something like that. Then another line I like, he said, "Your new girl, my old girl. I was ex before you, nigga." So I thought that was kind of fire. So, those are just a few bars that I liked in his first round. Like I said, it was short. and he did choke towards the end, but he did, I admit, he did get through the majority of that round. Let me get my drink, y'all. Give me a second. Okay, so like I said, Jerry West did get through the majority of the round, but I could tell that Jerry West did pretty much choke a bit, towards the end, that he just ended his round short. So let me tell you who I think won. In that first round, of course, I believe X Factor won. He came in there very energetic. He has good stage performance. X Factor, he always talks to the crowd. He does a lot of movements, facial expressions, and he had great bars. He really did. So I enjoyed his bars. I enjoyed his round. And then with Jerry West, he ended it short. Number one, he hesitated for a few seconds towards the end. And I like X Factor round better. So I give that first round to X Factor. Second round, wrote just only 2 bars down. Bullets will spit out of Jerry like Tom finally caught the mouse. That was fire, Tom and Jerry cartoon. Another line, he said, he at the URL. I'm at the IP address. What's cracking? So he did, of course, more went with the bar, but I just chopped it up a little bit. So I thought that was nice. Now, with X Factor round, it wasn't as good as the first round, I admit, but he had a lot of nice bars in that round. You know what I'm saying? He had a lot of good bars in that round. I just can't write all the bars down, but it wasn't as good as his first round. So now we go into the second round with Jerry West. Now, he was very, very animated in this round, I noticed. I like a bar. He said, on a dark night, I could have got them. And then he continued the bar, but I thought that was fire. On a dark night, I could have got him, but he said Gotham. Dark Knight and Gotham, Batman. So that was fire to me. Next bar, he said, how you a legend? Well, it was really a bar. He was basically explaining something, and he was like, how you a legend and you helping me? And we damn near on the bottom of the card, he says. So he's basically comparing, his status to X Factor status. And then another thing that I thought was okay, he says, I'll even go crazy like a little bump on a prom night. And then everybody like, whoa, and I just thought it was okay. Like, it wasn't all that. So I do believe it was a little bit gas, in this battle. Now, one thing about me, I acknowledge other bloggers and everything, but I never look at their recaps because I don't want them to sway my decision and my opinion of the battle. So I didn't even look at nobody's blogs about none of the battles because I just want to give my own interpretation so I don't be biased, and I know, how I feel about every battle. So I'm going off for first watch. To be honest with you, I watched this battle twice. And I gave both first rounds to X Factor. X Factor just had more grown man bars, up to date bars. And to me, with Jerry West, he was just too animated to me, and I don't know. His bars, I don't know, he just wasn't as good as he was in his previous battles, I don't know what it is. It was just a lot of amateur bars to me. So we going to, like I already said, I already gave the first 2 rounds to X Factor. So in my mind, X Factor already won this battle. But I still wrote some bars down just for y'all. Okay, so for the third round, he says X Factor, he wound up calling out Briz Rothstein. He said a little funny line about Briz Rothstein. He called out K-Shine, So he said something like, ask Troy and it'll kill these. But Troy and Achilles, that movie, and it was like a Shakespeare type of book or something. Troy, I'm not sure if it's even Shakespeare, it might be, but I just remember it's like Greek mythology. I know that. I remember reading it in school, and I remember reading the book Troy and Achilles, so I just thought that was a nice line, a little play on words. Ask Troy, it'll kill these, Then Now then he was talking to him, don't you drive a Bentley? He asking Jerry West. So he's like, well, if you sleep in it at least 5 days a week, don't you live in it? So he's basically saying that Jerry West, he may either live, he may have a Bentley, but he's sleeping and living in his Bentley. But who knows if it's really, his Bentley, or if he's renting it, or if he really owns it. I don't know. So anyway, now we go into round 3 with now before we go with Jerry West, round 3 with X Factor, I do admit it wasn't even as good as the second. Like every round X Factor was just doing, wasn't as good as his energy was just going lower and lower. But he still did excellent in the first round. He still did good in the second round. But this last round was a little short, and it was just okay. It was okay. So I already knew that Jerry West may take this third round. So now we go into the third round. Okay, so he said a lot of nice bars. Now this round was long for him. He had his friends coming in around a lot. They did some type of kung fu, thing they did. It was a beeping. I'm gonna get to that bar. So he had a lot of nice bars in the round, but he also had a lot of filler in this round too. So. All right, so let's go in there. So one of the lines that I like, he said, "Niggas keep sleeping on me. ... I'm Chris Brown. I'm known for beating on X." So I chopped that bar up, but I thought that was kind of fire. It was alright, because Chris Brown and Rihanna, that's his ex. Nice bar. Next line, he says, "With a nose like that, I envy whoever's supplying you." He says to X Factor, and we know X Factor has a big, long, wide nose. So I thought that was kind of funny. So then, at a point in the round, it's a beeping sound. Beep, 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 beep. And he goes, "That just means you've been cooked and I'm frying you," is what he says to X Factor. I'm like, oh, so, I thought that was fire. The way he said it, the way he delivered it was fire. Because the whole round, he was basically talking about X Factor is washed, he's cooked, he's not the same anymore, so when that beeping sound, beep, 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 and it sound like a beeping sound, like a cooking sound, he goes, "That's just mean you've been cooked and I'm frying you." So everybody was like, oh, so like I said, his friends was coming in around a lot, and what I didn't like is that at one point the whole crowd was like, 3-0-3, because he was doing really good in that round. So yeah, he's doing really good in the round, but the first 2 rounds, he did not beat X Factor in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? X Factor was brilliant in the first round. He was extra fire in the first round, but he was still good in the second round, and he did better, better than Jerry West. Now in my prediction blog, I did predict that Jerry West would be X Factor, but I must admit, I'm not biased. I'm going to keep it real. X Factor did win this battle. He beat Jerry West, in my opinion. I give X Factor the first 2 rounds and Jerry West the third. Okay, so I hope you guys see it when you can. Like I said, I'm going to come back tomorrow. I don't know what battle I'm going to, wind up recapping, but whichever, I think it will be probably Math and Snake Eyes. I did see some of it, and it was kind of fire. You know what I mean? So I might do that one tomorrow, or, leave a comment and let me know which one you want me to see, so I could just recap it for you guys tomorrow. But like I said, every day until I finish, I'm going to recap it, being that I didn't have a chance to do it earlier today, being I was at work. All right, y'all, so y'all bear with me. All right, so I'll see y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a good night, and remember, there's no night without stars. Later.